And if you miss any of this or you want to see it again, if you go to YummyArts, go to YummyArts at the tips, tools, and techniques section. There's a whole little video on how to use one of these.
Oh, okay,
There's
great.
actually 2 or 3 different models.
There are, and
This
I'm
is
going to
one of
tell
our
you why I
favorites.
like this one.
Yeah.
A lot of the models actually pump.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because every time it pumps and stops, you get a little ridge on your small ridge on your rope, and I don't like that. This, as you turn, I'm just turning it, and it's compressing it, and you can see it starts to come out, but it's a steady movement, so it doesn't get any ridges. So I'm going to start with that, just that little bit, and I'm going to make my A. So I'm doing this upside down, so bear with me because I want you to be able to see it. So I'm going to take my...
So you're going to make a V with a thing across it.
For me, it's a V. So I'm going to take my edges. I've cut them straight, but these I'm going to roll because I want them to come to a nice point. And I'm just going to shape it into the shape of my A, like this. Now I would add a little Tylose to this, which Tylose is a powder. This is my Tylose, and this is the brand is CK Products. And I would add a little Tylose to this because if you see, you want it to get hard. You need to do this a couple of days ahead because it's difficult to do on the cake, and you want it hard enough to where you can just lift it up and put it on the cake. So if you add the Tylose to your gum paste or to your fondant, then you're going to have it. It's going to harden and it's going to hold its shape. You could also do this in just gum paste. Just let people know so they don't break their teeth when they go to cut the cake. They can take it off and keep it. So that's all I'm doing is that, and then I'm going to take this little extra piece that kept coming after I stopped spinning, and I'm going to use that to make my little cross piece. Again, so it's a little long, so I'm just going to cut it with my thumbnail, and I'm going to make the points, make it into a point, and then just place it on there. Now you want to remember, it's not going to stick unless it's wet underneath it. So you want to put a little water where you want it to stick.
So you could basically play with it until you like it. Yeah,
you can move it around, make it whatever shape you want. Now I'm going to do the, I've done it in pieces. So I did the L, O, and the top and descender of the H. This is a separate piece. So I'm going to do this. So that's a nice long piece. And you can do it in sections by a letter at a time. You can do it as sections of a letter. It just depends on how you work with it. And this takes practice. It's not something you're going to be able to sit down and do right away. It takes practice, but once you get it down, it's a really fun way to do lettering. All right, so here's my long piece.
Yeah, I'd be playing with every different size.
Yeah.
Thick, thin, everything until you find something you really like.
So I've made the point long, and now I'm taking it, and I'm going to just write. Now again, I'm doing this backwards, so bear with me. So there's my L. I don't like where that laid, so I'm going to make it a little bit taller, like that. And then I'm going to bring it around, and just think of how you would use a pen. This is hard for me. I have to turn it around. I'm sorry. I can't see how the O goes.
We'll just watch it upside down.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm just bringing it around and making my O. And then I'm going to go up and make the top of my H. Wow, that just worked out perfectly for the size. Okay. And you can see like this is a little wide at the top, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit, curl this up. I want to make my O bigger. You can take any kind of a tool, open it up, open this up a little bit.
Did you mention that, or did you say that now it's going to go in the refrigerator or freezer?
No, because this is, we've added the Tylose.
Oh, okay.
We're going to let this harden. We're going to let this sit and harden for, I think I did this, what's today, Saturday? I think I did this on Wednesday. So it's been hardening for that amount of time. So I've got my L, O, and the bottom of my H, and so I'm going to take my palette knife. These also cut really well. And I'm going to cut the H so it's a nice clean cut. And now I think I have to, no, I actually just still have fondant in here. So now I'm just going to make the H part, so I don't need a lot. And I'm going to take, I want it to be at an angle, so I'm going to look here like this. I'm going to lift this up so you can see it a little bit better. So I want it to be at an angle where it attaches, so I'm going to cut my strip to have a little bit of a point on it. Not a round point, not a rounded point, but an actual like wedge point. And I'm going to take my brush and put a little water on that wedge point and attach it where I think the H will attach, like this. And then I'm going to bring it around like that. And then I'm going to cut it where I want my A to attach. And some letters you have to cheat. Like the O, I actually did the way you would do an O. But the A, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I want it to look like an A.